Ticket in that speed trap.
Yeah. People in Ballinger.
So is it already started, or?
Yeah, I mean, you can just keep it going and then
Okay, well,
start
how do I-
actually like, talking and stuff at 10.
How do I send the link to be moderator?
You text your mommy. I thought she wasn't going to watch this.
I was going to send her the link anyway. So this is before the ghost hunt?
Yep.
We're still getting set up.
Yep. And we are at the A.W. Perry Homestead Museum tonight. And we have, I don't think I ever caught your name.
My name is John.
That's John and Victoria.
And Victoria, and they are our fearless leaders
today.
So they were telling us history. And
Yeah, we'll repeat all that at 10 when the live stream's actually supposed to start.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get you all up and going so I could get back to doing that.
Well, so
Got our cameras set up.
You're only 10 minutes early. Y'all can start if you want.
Well, I thought we were starting.
Well, I'm going to interview them and stuff. And
Yeah. So.
I
keep thinking you're trying to hold me or hand it to me.
Where did y'all want to do y'all's interviews?
I mean, wherever y'all want to
Yeah,
do it.
we're flexible.
Yeah.
Send it to her.
Why don't we retire to the parlor?
Well, this is the
And if you need to light it all, here's a light.
Thanks.
Kind of illuminate.
Yeah.
That you're supposed to go to the light.
Okay.
It's not going to work.
Do you want to start with like the history?
I mean, I did break that.
So this room is the parlor, right?
Yeah, this
Yes.
is the parlor.
And over there's the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
And the piano you said was a period piece,
Yeah,
right?
it's a period piece, and it's fully playable, so we play it every Christmas.
What town are we in?
Carrollton.
Carrollton. Okay. So, just a basic history of the museum here.
Okay, so this house was built in 1909 by Francis and DeWitt Perry. Their parents were A.W. and Sarah Perry, and actually outside of this house is the foundation of their home, which was built in 1857 when they came to Carrollton. Technically, I guess in 1847.
Yeah,
1844. Yeah, is when the family originally came, but Francis and DeWitt tore down that old house to build this one, so 1909, and then their daughter Pearl donated it to the city in 1976. So it's completely restored to Victorian furnishings, and it has a lot of the family pieces that were actually in the home when they lived in the home.
Yeah, it's very cool. This is the tooth period piece.
This is period, actually. This was
That's
their
really
original fixture. It has the fun Japanese-inspired dragons, because that was a big,
Oh, here, I'll get this from the
interior
side.
design kind of theme of the Victorian era.
Oh, that is
besides the
cool.
wallpaper that you'll see everywhere.
That is pretty cool. I didn't even.
Yeah, so all the lighting fixtures throughout the house are original gas lighting fixtures, and they've just been rewired for electricity.
That's so cool.
So, I guess we can go through experiences people have had here with the haunting, or who wants to go?
You go first, John. Your stories are more fun.
So my big kind of haunted experience was so upstairs is where we office and do our computer work and store our collections and everything. And I was here by myself upstairs, just on my computer, and we have some shelving units off to the side. And all of a sudden, this box flies off the shelf. And I go to look at it, hadn't been over there all day, hadn't touched anything recently, and I look down at this box that flew off the shelf, and it says doll heads, and I don't even bother opening it. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna walk away and pretend that didn't happen.
That's a good call.
That is our response to doll heads.
Yeah, that's the hauntedest thing that has happened to me here. We also have a lot of rec attendants that sometimes have to fill in here at the and cover museum hours and open it up. And I know a lot of them never want to come here because they just get creeped out by it. I don't know. Many of them haven't had stuff happen to them, but they just
Just a bad feeling.
Yeah, they're just all creeped out by it.
Yeah. So me and John spend a lot of time here by ourselves. We're a very small staff. So in the time that I'm by myself upstairs, I've also had boxes kind of fall on their own very loudly to get your attention. I've had my cell phone completely lose service here in the house and at the Perry Cemetery when no one else lost service, and when all of the electronics were working in the home, just for some reason my phone cuts out. It's kind of weird. It's a weird one. Also, when you'll be upstairs, you'll hear a lot of things downstairs, but we keep all of the doors, permanently locked whenever we're here. So you will hear what sounds like someone unlocking the door and opening it, and you'll come downstairs and everything's still locked, and it's only you in the house. And then also me and John does the tours on Saturdays, and we would come in, I guess it was on Tuesday, and we walk through the house just to make sure everything looks really nice. And we saw an indent on the child's bed. It's a feather bed, so if someone sits on it, it's very noticeable and it stays there. So I asked John if anyone sat on the bed during a tour, because you're not really supposed to sit on the furniture. And he said, nope, it wasn't like that when I was there. So, and there's actually, me and John, while we were setting up, we noticed that there is an indentation in the same spot at the bed right now. So,
I know we can't sit on it or whatever, but if we like to kind of test that, do you mind if we put our hands?
You can put your
Like,
hands
our
and you'll
hands out
see
just
where
to
it
kinda-
does not come back
Yeah,
up.
kind of like.
And that's where the doll theft happened.
Oh, so our famous doll robbery here at the museum. We've only ever had one robbery occur at the museum. It was before we got security cameras, and it's why we got security cameras. But the way the children's room used to be arranged, our bassinet held a doll, and it was right under the window. So someone punched their hand through the window, grabbed the doll, and left. And that's the only thing they took. And we never caught them. And if they want the doll that much, they can have it. But we have so many creepy dolls here that we replaced it very quickly.
My theory is that the doll escaped.
You really never know. We have a lot of the items in the home are, either unique to the family or they are period pieces, and we've had them at this museum for a very long time. So we found photos from 1976 of the furniture and various dolls, and you just kind of find them upstairs too. So it's a little creepy place to work at, but I would say it's a very, very basic, just hearing things and just little things moving around and stuff like that.
Have you ever seen anything maybe out the corner of your eye, or no apparition or anything?
I've never seen anything, just weird noises and some stuff falling off the shelves, but I've never seen anything.
Same. Mainly just stuff falling and hearing what sounds like a door opening and someone walking in, but just there being nothing.
Is that pretty much what everyone else reports?
Yeah, the three of us that work here.
Yeah, there's only 3 of us that work here, and we're the ones that are usually here all the time, so.
Well, what is?
And we do know that the original builder of the home, DeWitt and Francis, that Francis died in the home in 1962, and I'm assuming DeWitt died here as well, and we know that a lot of our Perry family members are buried next door in the historic cemetery, so they're all still pretty close to us.
As we go around, we can point out some of the pieces that are from the
original
family.
to the home.
Here, do you want to scope it out for a second?
Yeah. So. Alright, so while she's doing that, we'll go ahead and we'll start in here. So do you want to maybe point out everything that's original?
So this bookcase, or I guess the secretary, is original. The original family Bibles are here. We also have some old school books of the Perrys.
Yeah, and one of those old school books belonged to Pearl. She's the one that donated the house to the city for a museum. And it was when she was a teenager and she was writing notes to her friend about her boyfriend at the time, who became her husband. And she's like, "Oh, isn't my Arthur so cute?" And so it's kind of cute, but
This rocking chair is original. These photographs on this wall are original. The red furniture, our couch and our love seat, are original. to the family. And then this portrait was supposedly painted in the house. That is Frances before she passed away. So she was the one that built this house with her husband.
All right. Okay. And then to the children's room.
So we actually don't have any family pieces in here. Oh, we do?
Yeah, the bed and the crib belong to the family.
And this was the one you were telling me that, like, or telling us that had the
This
indentation.
little indent, that's not huge. That's where it was the first time. So
I was going to do a baseline in this room and then just run some quick EVPs.
Oh, that's cool. We're just gonna go through and.
yeah, and then these photos are original of Carrollton. So these are Carrollton photos.
That's cool.
And then this bassinet, that's where the doll was stolen from. So this bassinet used to be where the rocking chair is now. So that's the bassinet the doll was taken from.
That is so weird.
Yeah. And that's most likely human hair on that doll. Since it is
That's
period.
also weird.
Yeah, well, that's how they made dolls back then.
Yeah.
They also used all.
Okay, and was this like the master?
Yes, this was the master, and then all of these photos you see here are the family photos. So it's mainly Frances's side of the family. So that's Frances, and that's Pearl. That's her mom and her sister. This is A.W. and Sarah, the ones that they tore down the house, the original house. That's her mom, Frances again. We have DeWitt, Frances, and Pearl right here, the ones who lived in the home.
All
So these are all of her pictures. We believe this one got donated back to us, so that's a family piece. But as for the clothes in here, we don't have too much information.
Yeah, but the wardrobe there, I think it's that wardrobe that's
the
original
wardrobe
to
is
the
an
family.
original to the family as well.
Now this is gonna sound probably like an ignorant question, but like, so they both shared the same bed, or I thought they like I don't know why I pictured them like sharing
In
separate
separate
beds. Yeah.
That probably comes from when you were in television, you couldn't showcase
Lucy?
a married family in a bed, or you couldn't have the husband and the wife because it was like indecent. But we've
That's so weird.
always had the one bed in here, and
Yeah.
we haven't seen anything to the contrary that they
I
would
know.
have been sleeping separately.
Yeah, I know that's like this. I know it's like ignorant or whatever. I just because I just
Well, that's what I mean.
I just assumed they
for
saw-
a long time in American television, it was very controversial to have a
Wasn't the
husband and
Brady
a wife.
Bunch the first ones that shared a bed?
Actually, the Flintstones were the first ones, and it was a cartoon.
Yeah.
no.
But yeah, Brady Bunch was first live action, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's a .1 in here. I mean, it's from the light.
Yeah.
I figure when we do the EVPs, they probably have. Joey set the teddy bear out for.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
like, I'm assuming that's y'all's teddy bear
Yeah.
and not ours.
And this EVP setup doesn't hear things in our voice register, so that would be things that are.
Oh,
in a
Oh, well,
different register.
yeah.
interesting. What register do dolls?
Are
come in
these-
for that?
Are these the children?
So those are not the children, but
Oh.
we do believe that they're local children. We have that photo to show how kids dressed in the period, how boys could wear the ruffles, and we always ask people, can you tell which one's the boys and which one's the girl, just to kind of showcase that children's dress was a little bit more.
Yeah, like that old picture of FDR.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of showcase that, and you can see like we have our kids' toys in here. We don't have too much information, kind of on a lot of the stuff in the house. So a lot of those kids' toys, some we have acquired, some we don't really have much information on at all.
Yeah, there's
Alright.
and some of the stuff we discovered stories as we cleaned it out. Like there's a little kid's blackboard in there, I think still.
Yeah.
And it belonged to some kid that grew up in Carrollton in like right around 1900, and it has like names etched into it on the back.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of pieces from Carrollton too, but not specifically the family. So there's a table that's in the sitting or the parlor that's a Carrollton residence table that's period piece, but isn't necessarily. the
Was this
family.
little coat donated as well? Or is that original?
I don't.
It's not original as far as I know.
To the family.
Not to the family, but
But-
it's of the period.
Yeah,
So would be.
it's Victorian,
Yeah.
but as to whose it is, no idea. A lot of the clothing we don't have too much information on for some reason or another.
Yeah.
And then we have our family portraits in here. This is the photo of the original house. So this is the original family. The house, the foundation is outside. These two trees are still standing. You have AW and Sarah right here, and you can see the detached kitchen that you see the indent in the ground. But this is what the old house used to look like.
And they had all of those children.
So yeah, this is the family. Not all of them lived at the house at the same time. We've kind of guesstimated that in the old house outside it would have been AW, Sarah, and about 10 of their kids together. But over here you can see Pearl and Francis and DeWitt.
Lord, that
Yeah.
is a very big family.
Yeah, they had 14 children total. Some of them died a little bit younger in life, but I mean, as you can see from the family reunion in 1995, we still have a lot of Perrys and Gradleys. So a lot of them still serve for us on the museum board. They're very involved, and that's how we keep getting pieces in the museum.
And that's good. Like, that's really neat. And then so...
Like here, this was donated back to us.
And this is a family piece?
This is a family piece that was in the home. We sent it to a conservationist, a conservator, and he fixed it up for us. So it used to be, had a lot of scratches. It was a different color because they had refurbished it. Our glass still kind of has the age and wear marks. He didn't really fix that up for us. But this got donated back to the museum pretty recently, and it used to be in here.
And like, what about like the china? Is that original or is that just like, yeah?
Yeah, this is donated.
But the one on the set on the table belongs to the family, and this was, I think, one of AW's 14 kids. She had it in her side of the family for a while, and it was recently donated.
Yeah, and these two chairs are original. They used to be out on the front porch, but we had them conserved and brought inside just to kind of preserve them.
Right. So, and like the tea set, like, for
That
like...
silver is actually engraved, and we can't figure out what that engraving is on the silver, so we don't really know much about that one, but the tea set is part of this china set. That was the family's. But yeah, we've tried to decipher that monogram, but it's kind of hard with that vintage scrolling, so...
I don't know if we have like the two whole people that are watching, if y'all can figure it out.
Yeah, it's one of the harder parts when you're working with historical items, especially is when you're trying to read letters. The cursive is so much different than what we're taught now. Trying to decipher words and see which letter is what is actually pretty interesting.
Right.
Yeah. We have an old Spencerian handwriting book that shows you how to do the old cursive, like what they taught children in school.
Cool.
So we have it in our sitting room because we that's where they would have practiced like writing and stuff like that. So did y'all want to see the outside, or?
Yeah, let's go.
Let me grab the keys.
I got my keys.
Got it for
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, the kitchen.
Yeah, so nothing in here is necessarily the family's. Everything's period though. So
I love that stove.
We just churned butter in that butter churn last weekend.
Like edible butter?
Edible butter, we did it. It was super fun. So something cool out here is the well. The well is original to the property. There's still water in it.
Nice.
It was supposedly where DeWitt and Francis met and fell in love, because this used to be a whole kind of stopping ground for all of Carrollton. So Native Americans visited the well for water. Neighbors came to the well. So the well's right here. During the daytime, if you peer down, you can see your reflection staring back at you from the water.
Huh.
But the foundation stones are over here. I'm sure it's hard to see in the dark.
Yeah, I walked I walked it earlier, whatever. I was taking photos outside.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
And these two trees right here are the trees in that photograph
Yeah.
that we showed you in the hallway.
That's,
So
they're
this
definitely
photograph
bigger.
that we reprinted right here. These
Those-
two trees, those are it.
Yep.
I can't really see in the dark,
Yeah,
but
they've gotten some damage with time and storms, but we've
There
tried
we go.
really hard to keep them and keep them safe. I mean, they're pretty much completely hollow on the inside by now, but they're still standing. So there was at one time a slave's quarters. They had 2 slaves and a hired help when they had this 1857 home. Unfortunately, we don't really have any records as to where that slave quarters will have been, or any information on the names of the slaves or where they went. So that's been something we've been trying to work on through census records, but it's just kind of hard to do that type of time period and find that information.
Yeah.
But we were guesstimating it would have been back behind the old house foundation. So all of this property, all of this over here was the family's, and we're assuming it would be kind of back in here. So
Alright.
as to where it is, though, nobody knows.
It's nice property.
Yeah. I mean, y'all really take good care of it.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have a city that really
Values
our site.
Yeah.
So we have, maintenance come out, and next door to the property is a public park that Pearl donated along with the house. It's a meditation park, so it's very peaceful and quiet, and it's encouraged for people to come and just kind of see nature and kind of take a little trip back in time, see what the simpler days were like.
Yeah, I got excited because y'all have like the little library, like
We
where you
have
like
our-
take a book and
we
leave
just
a book.
got that. We just got our lending library, so we were very excited. One of the Girl Scouts brought that out for us.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's just so neat. Like,
We have one of our trees that we're trying to prop up and keep alive because we believe that's a historic one as well. But
yeah, I was wondering about that tree earlier. Like, I mean,
we have it braced just so it hopefully doesn't continue to fall on us. But
yeah,
I mean,
like,
with time,
was it standing at one point?
Oh yeah, that would have been standing at one point. But we also have our root cellar. It was restored in the 90s, but that is the original location of the root cellar. So,
All right, and what would like
so
what
you
do
would
they?
just store canned goods. So they grew. This was a farm, so they grew all of their own food, and they would can it to help preserve it. So you would keep it in the root cellar. It's kind of like your pantry.
Did you hide some tornadoes down there too?
Probably. It's,
Yeah.
We don't go down there very much. There's nothing really in it. It's very steep, so it's kind of like a safety thing. We don't really like to go down there that often, and we keep it locked. But it's really just there are actually still some mason jars on the shelves.
Huh, that's cool.
We have the counterweight. That's what they would have used to help keep the door open and closed. This shed was where their gas settling generator was because there was no electricity, but they had gas that pumped into the house, and that's how they lit it. So that would have been in there. And then we have our smokehouse over here, which technically it wouldn't have been smoke. It was racks of salt, so they would have salt cured their meat. But
So cool.
this site was really cool. They had apple orchards, they had bees, they had cows and pigs and
Yeah.
horses.
And, yeah, AW, like bred horses. They had 70 horses on the property at one point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just finished our barn exhibit.
So they did pretty well for themselves. Like,
Yeah,
they
so
had a pretty good little.
They were a pretty affluent family. He had stock in the Trinity Mill, and
Sorry,
he
that's anyways.
it's fine. He sold it. So he bought and sold a lot of land. He donated a lot of land. So he donated land for the first school in Carrollton. He donated land to the First Baptist Church. He donated land for the cemetery. That's where they're all buried, which is down the street. Which is why people ask, why is there a cemetery in the middle of this neighborhood? Well, that's where the old Union Baptist Church used to be. That's actually where we have a walking tour of the cemetery, so I went to go walk it. We don't manage the property, someone else does, but I went to walk it, and AW has an obelisk as his, I guess, like statue, gravestone, and I went to take a photo of it, and that's where I had another dead zone for no reason. All of my phone completely, no service, no internet, no nothing, for no reason, because I was trying to take a photo of his...
I mean, yeah, especially like in the middle of the city.
in the middle of the daytime.
Yeah.
I was trying to take a photo. That kind of happens to me a lot. I was trying to take a photo, and I said, all right, AW, I won't take a photo. You're fine. I wanted to put it on Snapchat, but... that happens
AW
to
is
me.
not a fan of Snapchat.
Maybe
I
he's
guess.
just not a fan of technology. But
See, I had no problem getting a picture of his obelisk when I went,
maybe
but
it's just
I wasn't
maybe
trying to
it's just
snap
me.
it.
Yeah, I
just
was
taking a
trying.
picture.
I was trying to put it on
Oh,
Snapchat.
What?
Okay. Sorry, spider.
Oh, okay.
A little friendly fellow.
Oh, so that's the.
Yeah, so this is
that's
the well.
well.
We covered it so people don't drop stuff or fall in, you know.
Yeah.
Fair enough. No,
But
no.
you can see, like, I guess we need to clean it. It's a little
Yeah.
dusty, but you can see the original stone outline. And
Yeah.
there's water still all up in there.
That's neat.
And you had people coming from all over to use their well. It wasn't just for the family. All sorts of people came and used it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AW was noted to be a very friendly man, a very community-centered. Everyone really liked him. There's a book written by George Jackson, who was another person alive during kind of the founding of Carrollton. And there's chapters on different families of Carrollton, and there was a whole chapter on AW, and it was really just very
good to hear.
It's a good family, good prominent, you know. We just wonder if they're still around.
These ghosts should be nice though, right?
I mean, logically, yeah. I mean, so maybe, I guess that's probably like, I guess maybe why nothing malicious happened. Like, maybe it's just because he's like cool with you being here. Like,
Oh, we got another June,
I do not like them.
I got that on tape. I got that live, by the way.
There's our doorknob.
Let me try and screw that back on. So what is this?
So that's a coffee grinder. Put
Nice.
your coffee beans in and grind it. Yeah.
Someone in my family has one of those restored. So I've seen one before.
Yeah. People ask us what that is on the wall. That's for matches for your wood burning stove.
I like
A
the
little match
thermostat
holder.
next to the.
Mm-hmm. Very period.
So,
Hey, you gotta keep collections up for preservation purposes.
So is this telephone original to the house too?
That's the original spot it would have been. I'm not sure. Maybe that is the original. We don't really have.
Yeah, we don't know if it's original. The phone is from 1913, I think, is when it was made. And it still kind of works, like it rings.
They were on a party line system, so they shared the line with all their neighbors. So.
And most of their neighbors probably would have been family members, because when A.W. passed away, they had several different farmhouses with his sons and daughters, and then DeWitt and Francis were here. So some of the neighbors probably would have been family, but they also would have been possibly nosy and listening in on the phone lines.
Yeah, that was actually about to be my next question. So, like,
Yeah.
they shared their phones with their neighbors. Like,
Yeah.
if they just picked it up, they can just listen to it.
Yeah, so in theory, every house on the same phone line had a special ringing pattern. That's kind of where we get the term ringtones from. Is because, let's say, if it was the Perrys, it may ring like 2 quick ones and 1 long one or something, and that's how you knew, oh, that one's for us. So each family had a special ringing pattern that notified who the phone was for if they were calling it, but didn't stop people from listening in.
Yeah, my dad grew up on a party line, so he would pick up his neighbors' phone calls all the time just to listen in.
That's interesting. See, I didn't know that, like, at all. So I learned something new.
Do y'all want to see upstairs?
Yeah, let's. All right, so they're going to take us upstairs.
So, excuse our mess. This is where we house a lot of our collections. This back area is where I have had, we used to have a bunch of boxes stacked, and that's where all of my box catastrophe happened, where they all fell over, where I was by myself. I think John can tell you where his...
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to show us where the doll heads were?
So I was just sitting right over there at my desk, working on the computer, and then all of a sudden I hear something fall off the shelf, and there's some shelves right behind here, and that's where a box fell off onto the ground, and when I looked, it said doll heads on it, and I did not want to open it.
Yeah, so this is where we're at by ourselves most of the time. It's where we're upstairs that we hear things and have to run downstairs to see that nothing has happened, nothing changed, so we get a good cardio workout. So this office used to be the spare bedroom. So they never really had a lot of people live in the spare bedroom per se because there was no air conditioning at the period, so all the hot air would have risen up here. They mainly used it for storage, and they actually told the children it was haunted up here, so the kids wouldn't come up and kind of mess around where they weren't supposed to.
That's funny. Cause
Maybe it was haunted. Who knows?
That's funny. I gotta tell Sarah that one.
But that is documented. We have it in our papers. It's like, they told the children, don't go upstairs because it's haunted.
You gotta tell Sarah that one because she got a kick out of it. Because like her kids are convinced her upstairs are haunted, and so but she's kind of kept it up. So she.
Hey, I guess some things don't change with time.
No.
Alright, so all the equipment's set up. we're good to go with. We usually start with like a lights on
Okay.
thing,
And then we'll lights
yeah,
out.
she's been going around with the EMF detector, kind of taking a baseline of everything. But what she'll do is, I guess y'all go like room by room, and she'll take a baseline of the room to show that it's at 0 or at 1 wherever it sits, so that you'll be able to actually recognize any activity if that's going on, and then y'all just do a quick EMF session. And then all the other experiments are set up. We've got the static cams going. Once we go to a lights out thing, I've got a lights out rig here, a laser grid rig here. We've got full spectrum cameras. We've got specific spectrum cameras, EMF, all kinds of cool stuff you've seen on all
Hey.
of those.
Yeah.
So they were telling me that the Perrys used to tell their children that the upstairs was haunted, so they wouldn't go up there.
Like we do in my house.
Yeah. And that's why I told her, you guys like, you gotta tell Sarah she get a kick out of that.
It's so I can use the bathroom in peace.
Well, their bathroom was outside, so I guess it was always peaceful.
Unless there were
Okay,
spiders.
so you want to start in the
The sitting room?
tooth room?
Yeah.
That's how we'll
Do you want to do it, or you want me to still, or here? I'll switch you. And I'll hold on to this too, in case you need light.
Well, I'll watch the static cam, so I'm not just extra feet walking around.
Oh, is that Pearl?
So that is Miss Pearl. At the very bottom, up top, is Francis and DeWitt. Francis lived to be like 101, and Pearl lived to be like 102, or vice versa. So they both outlived their menfolk. And then over here, this is AW and Sarah. So this is the family. Usually, whenever people come to tours, we kind of tell them a little bit about the family and the history of the home right in the hallway. That's why we have our main characters right up the. All right.
Okay, so is there any specific questions you think would work good in here? Like, if you were going to talk to whatever was in here, what would you want to ask? I mean, we have standard ones we ask. Are you human? Why are you here? How old are you? How did you die? But is there anything specific to the location?
I mean, mine would be, do you like the decoration?
Well, we can ask where the slave quarters were.
Yeah.
She can do the questions too if they want.
Oh, yeah, if you want to ask some.
Sure, you can ask them. Yeah.
So this one's always recording. And then you said about 6 on this, and do you want me to always play it back? Brad? Or I could just talk to no one.
You walked away.
Do you want me to play this back every time we get 5 questions, or?
Yeah, just do about like 5 or 6
Okay,
questions.
in each room, play it back. Okay.
A couple of minutes worth, and then go back and listen and see if you got anything. If you got something, keep going. Go with your gut.
It's probably a bad idea. So here, you can record on this one, and then when we're done with this session, we'll stop that one. But this one's going the whole time. The one on my wrist is.
Okay.
So,
Do I ask something?
well, I was gonna, if there's.
baseline in here, I was like, what?
So
It was put on by the lights.
The way we do EVPs is what we'll do is we'll ask a question. Everybody gets as quiet as they can and counts to 10 Mississippi.
I do 8 minutes. 10's a long time. But what?
This is your department.
Sorry, but what I was gonna say first was if there was anything here that.
and do your thing.
You can use our energy, or we got all these electronics here. You can feel free to touch any member of the ghost hunting crew.
Okay, yeah, this is going up, but I mean, I'm near the light, so.
Or mess with Allie's hair like that one time, or.
Yeah. No, that's okay. Please don't.
So.
But yeah, we don't mean any
It's
harm.
going from
We'd just like to talk to
but I'm
you.
also right there, so.
Yeah, it went up near the lights.
Yeah, so it's just
Up to
staying at
0.3.
1.2, yeah. So it's
Well,
just the lights.
the most important thing is to keep it.
Static.
There it goes. 'Cause
So
it's
one of like if y'all watch like Ghost Adventures or any of those shows.
I got
or-
blocked
Oh
by
yeah,
Zach
yeah, I
Baggins.
know. He doesn't like me either.
You got blocked by Zach Baggins?
I called him out for wearing a rosary because that used to be my one Catholic thing is if you're not Catholic, you shouldn't wear a rosary just as a necklace. And on his book cover, he had it. So on Twitter, I was like, are you Catholic? If not, that's kind of offensive. And he personally messaged me and said, "How dare you, blah, 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 your negative energy will not be tolerated, blocked." And he blocked me, and then I went and Googled, and it turns out, no, he's not Catholic, he's non-religious.
He's a pretentious butt, sounds like.
Does on his show with
he just waves it around.
He's got the same detector who go, oh, like,
Whenever you move it in.
oh yeah, and then you can chase it.
This won't focus at all.
These are designed.
Yeah, I know. I've been
to
having
work
issues with it focusing
it-
and going out of focus.
Right,
So,
and the way
like-
EMF fields work is 3-axis. It's going to come laterally, up and down, and diagonally, and so it actually depends. Like I can get one reading this way, and I'll get another reading this way. So when you're actually getting a reading on these, it's if you're holding it and like even just like you can see, it just went to 3.3 just from me holding it at a slight angle. So there's no way I can really hold this perfectly still.
So it's better just to put it on the ground.
If you put it on the ground and you're not touching it and nobody's moving, and then something happens, then
So
I
it's a
might
little bit
call.
more legit.
Then I might call it evidence. It could still be somebody's phone going off in their pocket.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the live stream is having focus issues.
But anyway, that's why I call him douchebaggins. Like, just because he's just kind of douchebag.
I mean, it's
I-
a fun
I-
story to tell, though.
Like,
okay.
I mean, if by any
Yeah,
chance
Allie.
you're a douchebag.
So somebody needs to be in charge of watching
Okay.
that.
I'm watching it.
I do notice it is fluctuating, and that's normal. I mean,
Yeah,
EMF
no,
waves fluctuate. If it goes up to like 0.5, like out of nowhere, maybe. If it goes up to like 2.0, that might be
I mean, I'm
definitely.
I'm well aware.
I just wish I could get the live stream to focus.
Yeah. All right.
Can't you
So
just
here,
tap the
let me-
screen?
Yeah, it was not working.
It's just it keeps going in and out of focus.
The Perrys, is that you?
Maybe.
It's a valid question.
Well, so yeah, you answered it. So I'll start a new one we can start with. I know how to work this, I think. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Alright, I'm trying to hold it very still for everyone. Oh, should I go? Okay. Are there any Perry family members here with us or anyone else who would like to speak to us?
Um, I got nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot more boring.
I got one. I got a good one. Can you tell us whose tooth is in the inkwell in the secretary? So creepy. Do you like what we've done with the house decor?
Allie mouth breathing.
Well, no, and my
Oh no,
stomach's
I was just charting it.
I know we always
Huh?
document where stuff is, but also my stomach is.
You said you could hear us what?
I can hear y'all whispering under your breath.
We weren't whispering. No one's mouth was moving. There was some loud exhalations, but no talking.
Should we ask if they like you, me, or Cody the best?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do you like our new curator, me, your favorite, or John the intern, the best?
Real favorite.
I have questions, so y'all can ask.
Can you point us to where the slave quarters are?
How many spirits reside in this house? Okay, then we can just play back the...
Yeah.
See how this works.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, I'm holding. I'm trying to hold it very
So you're going to play this back for the live stream because someone requested that last time.
Okay. Are there any Perry family members here with us or anyone else who would like to speak to us? I got a good one. Can you tell us whose tooth is in the inkwell in the secretary? So creepy.
Allie, ruining UVs.
Do you like what we've done with the house decor?
You never notice how loud you breathe until you listen to one of these.
Document where somebody's, but also my stomach's pain. You said you could hear us what? I can hear y'all whispering under your breath. We weren't whispering. No one's not whispering. There was some loud exhalations and no talking. Should we ask if they like you, me, or Cody the best? Okay. Do you like our new curator, me, your favorite, or John the intern, the best? Your favorite.
Got sniffling and fidgeting.
We got 4 whole watchers right now. Yes.
I have a question. Can you point us to where the slave quarters are? How many spirits reside in this house?
Did you hear something on it?
No.
I heard my terrible accent.
Oh, okay.
All
Maybe a
right.
drink.
Do you want to move on to the children's room?
I have a question for that.
All right.
You do?
Yeah. Are there any spirits residing in these dolls?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I want to ask that.
Or like at one point we had up to four people watching.
I put a little teddy bear in here in case they wanted to see a new toy play with. This would be fun. With this is hooked up to another recorder. This has been going the whole time. This isn't a microphone.
So I'm just going
This
to
is
hit
a
record when they're ready
guide.
to start and hand it one of them.
And like we're sitting here talking, and when you go back and listen to it, you won't hear anything we're saying. It's not picking up noise on this frequency at all. It picks it up at a subsonic frequency, like electrical impulses, and sometimes it will actually pick up voices, which is actually like supposed to be physically impossible because it's not even a microphone.
Wow.
Way to note that the smudges on the window look pretty creepy through this.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, but we do.
Oh.
So you know we're talking about your like indentions
Yeah,
here and
so
there?
like this
Yeah.
little indention, that's usually not there, and that's about the same spot where when me and John were walking through the house after, we usually would walk it after our tours on Saturday.
So you're going to see
if
how,
our crew had cleaned.
see it doesn't rebound real fast.
Not really. Especially if you do it in the middle, it just kind of stays there because it's that feather bedding. But when we walked in here, it was, I felt like even deeper than that. And I asked John, did
Yeah.
someone sit on the bed during your tour? And he said, nope, it was not like that when I came in. So,
Interesting.
Usually no one, sits or touches on the bed just because we tell people it's a museum, please don't touch. So it definitely was like, did someone sit on the bed? But you're like, no one did. And no one had been there between me and John, and all the doors are constantly locked. So, I don't know. So we're going back questions.
5 or 6.
Invite him to play with the bear or touch the equipment or sit on the bed.
Okay, so once again, we just want to talk to you. We don't mean you any harm. We brought this teddy bear. You can feel free to play with it or talk to any of the EVP, any of the recorders. Walk in front of this camera. Feel free to use our energy or the energy of the electronics to manifest or have a conversation with us.
You want to ask your question? I know you do.
I do want to ask my question. Hello, spirits. Are there any of you residing in any of these creepy dolls? Do you like to play with any of our toys we have? Maybe the tambourine.
We're going to take a few steps. We just noted on that so we know it's not.
Yeah, so we can tell the difference between people and non-people.
Ask if they've been sitting on the bed.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been sitting on our bed once we leave?
Could you do it right now?
Well, see, and this is the indention there
Yeah.
they're talking about. Where I showed you this was a feather bed, so once you push on it, it stays like if you have water retention and you press on someone's ankle.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like the shape of, someone's backside.
Yeah, because this is where your hand was.
Yeah, that's where my hand was, and it's still indented. And I guess the first time it was you, John was running into her?
So I worked on a Saturday, and then we were here again on a Tuesday, and no one had been here before, or like after I left and before we both showed up on Tuesday, and it was like that.
And this is the room of the famous
Yeah,
doll robbery.
So this bassinet that is in this corner used to be right at the foot of the bed, underneath the window, and we had our 2 mannequins next to it, and someone punched a hole through this bottom pane, reached in, grabbed the doll from the bassinet, and ran away. And never caught him. There were no security cameras at the time. It's our first and only robbery that ever occurred at the museum.
So, did anything living in this house witness that robbery? Can you tell us why the person did it? Alley creaking. So can you tell us why the person would steal a random doll?
Was it a person at all?
I think it goes back to his first question, and one of the dolls is possessed and it escaped through the window.
Well, I was just saying, like, maybe if, like, one of the entities, like...
Oh, through, yeah. Or she brought up maybe someone dared him to do it or something, like a kid or something, because it just seems so...
We have no
Random?
idea.
Yeah.
It seems odd that you would want to physically punch a glass window and risk cutting your arm up just for a random doll.
And there was, like, no blood found or anything?
I mean,
I don't know about blood per se, but I mean, police came out and no one was ever really able to determine, you know, anything except that it, you know, glass was broken from outside. Someone reached in, grabbed the doll.
But if you look through the live stream here, the smudges look like an arm reaching. It's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's really interesting, the thermal one we have. If you put your hand against the wall and take it away, you'll still see the handprint forever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what room do you want to do, actually?
Let's do the master bedroom.
What? Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Feel free to play with it or
It's going through.
to any of the EVPs.
I hit record too soon.
Walk in front of this camera.
I'll focus on the creepy doll.
Feel free to use our energy or the
With
energy
real
of
human
the
hair.
elements to
No, thank you.
manifest or have a conversation with us. Okay, got this on record. You want to ask your question? I know you do.
I mentioned that for the proper bed.
Hello, spirits. Are there any of you residing any of these creepy dolls?
Is that high-pitched beep a security alarm?
Do
Or?
you like to play with any of our toys we have?
Oh, we have a beep.
Maybe the tambourine?
We have a defibrillator that's batteries running
Oh.
low, so that's what that beep is.
So just note it on that so we know it's not. Yeah, so we know there is not people. Ask if they've been sick.
That was loud.
Oh, yeah. Bed once we leave. Could you do it right now? See, this is the invention that, yeah, they're talking about. Where I show you this kind of red, so when you push on it, it stays like like if you have water retention and you press on someone's ankle. Yeah. So it almost looks like the shape of, you know, someone's backside. Yeah, that's where my hand was, and it's still indented. And I guess the first time it was you walked around.
So I worked on a Saturday, and then we were here again on a Tuesday, and no one had been here before, like after I left and before we both showed up on Tuesday, and it was like that.
And this is the room of the famous, doll robbery. So this bassinet that is in this corner used to be right at the foot of the bed.
You go ahead and go there
Underneath
next.
the windows, we have
Yeah.
our two mannequins next to it, and someone punched a hole through this bottom pane.
Maybe idea, but geez.
I know, right?
Okay, so this would have been the parent room.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's where DeWitt and Francis would have slept, and all those photos are Miss Francis with DeWitt and Pearl, AW and Sarah, and then some of her family, the Grimes, so her mother, her sister.
Tracy's dad was AW. AW Ewing, I think.
Oh,
Curly.
Curly. That man. And so that wardrobe's original. Our nice Conjuring wardrobe.
Are you gonna play hide and go seek in here?
No, thank you.
Okay, so are there any questions specific to this?
Oh, not that I would know of. We rarely go in this room because it's so cramped. So, I mean, maybe just whose that is because we have no information on that.
Okay.
The wardrobe or the dresses?
The
The little box down there.
The
So
suitcase.
the suitcase,
Okay.
we found that. We have no idea whose that is or what it is. It looks like it has specific like spots for stuff.
Almost like a makeup case, or
So we don't know if it's like makeup or medicine or we don't know what it is. But it has initials that may be something to do with the Perry family on the handle, but we have no information on it.
ONP?
okay. So once again, we're just here to talk to you, not to irritate you, but we'd like to know where this case came from and what it's for. Who was the owner of this case, and what did the initials ONP stand for? Is there anything else hiding on this property that you would like the people that work here to find and display in the museum? Your turn.
I can't think of anything.
In storm season, did you use the root cellar as a storm shelter? Got an airplane in the background. And we've had a couple cars going by. I just want to note that. Okay, we can go. And I can play this back as we go somewhere else because it's taking a lot of...
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, we're just here to talk to you, not to irritate you. But we'd like to know where this case came from and what it's for.
That was that right?
Do y'all want your E?
Oh, no, we leave it for the... Oh, the EMF, yeah.
Yeah.
Who is the owner of this case and what do the initials ONP stand for?
I mean, do you want to do the kitchen or nah?
I don't care.
I thought we go upstairs and just maybe do where he... Or I'll talk to Brad.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, like, I don't know if you just want to, like, do every room or just focus on the hot spots.
You want to trade these for a minute?
Wait,
They're going to do the upstairs, I guess.
Is there anything else hiding on this property
it's
that
pretty
you would
cramped
like
up there. How
to...
about y'all?
Huh?
It's pretty
Do you
cramped.
just want to go up there?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on it.
I was wondering if before we went to lights out, if somebody felt brave enough to be like if everybody else went outside and maybe, because if there's something here and it's comfortable with y'all and it acts up when it's with you guys, is one of y'all brave enough to be the only one in the house with a recorder and try?
No, like,
Because I get better results when I buy my like they do the ghost tours and stuff like that all the time. We never get anything like that.
Too many people.
Yeah, but people always report stuff when they're alone. You know, it's like, oh, there wasn't anybody else there. So what we try to do is, we try to do this. Sometimes we get stuff, and then sometimes we'll try to send somebody back because a lot of times we'll do the same spots over and over and over because the theory is that they get more familiar with us, and then they're more susceptible to doing so. We're strangers here, but if they do stuff while y'all are around, then we can just I've got the recorders going. Just send one of y'all back in here by yourself with a recorder, and it gets a little more tense when you're doing that because you're actually soliciting a response at that point.
I think I could do that.
And it feels kind of silly asking questions with no one
I think we
there.
both
I could-
could.
yeah, I
could.
we're here by ourselves a lot, and I went through like a breakup while I was here by myself. So there were lots of times where it was just me sitting in that chair, just like crying.
or like playing on the piano. So I've probably put a lot of emotions into this museum. That they're probably like, please stop breaking up with your boyfriend. We're tired of you crying at this museum.
Shut up. I'll go
Yeah.
fill up the water in the bath.
Maybe that's why they knock stuff over. They're like, God, Tori, stop.
Well, we can either. I'm just erasing the ones where y'all didn't get anything.
Oh, I was going to step out for
Okay, need some there.
So we can go upstairs and try real quick, or we can leave them when y'all, whatever y'all want to try.
Out here.
Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter to me.
Let's go.
We haven't done anything on this side of the house either.
Okay.
Yeah, we focused mostly like on the children.
Did we not? Oh yeah, I guess we didn't do the parlor. Oh, I guess it's windy outside.
So y'all heard something fell off back over here
So
Yes.
John's box fell over here and mine fell over here.
in the back.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm just going to do right there. Cool. I'll split the difference. All right, live stream people aren't. You'll have to take my word for it if something happens. There you go.
Why did you make a box full of doll heads fly off the shelf?
Why did you knock over all the boxes in the corner?
I hear like a steady. Is there like?
I mean, there's a computer back there.
It's almost like a dripping or something. Maybe there's. Is there like a clock downstairs or something? I mean, it's just like it.
There are clocks downstairs, but
Maybe.
Not any that would.
they're not working right now. They're not
Yeah.
wound.
I don't think it's paranormal.
Is there anything in these boxes we should take notice of?
Can you move something right now? I don't know. Play back, see.
Alright, so I'll stop.
We'll just-
Why did you make a box full of doll heads fly off the shelf?
Why did you knock over all the boxes in the corner?
I hear like a steady. Is there like?
I mean, there's there's a computer back there.
It's almost like a dripping or something. Maybe there's.
I don't know.
Is there like a clock downstairs or something? The other thing is, like when we do catch the voices, it's never like right, like where a response should be. It'll be like in between two people talking, and there's like a third voice, and you're like, what? Why is that there? But it'll be relevant to something you.
Anything in these boxes we should take notice of?
Can you move something right now? Alright, so like I said, it's pretty rare I ever get anything when there's like 9 of us standing around.
Yeah.
So which one of y'all wants to try to come back on your own?
I'll do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Alright, well, you're going to take my live feed,
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
and you get to run the show for a little while.
Okay.
And here's that.
So all I'm doing is hit and record and then ask.
Yeah, hit record, ask 5-10 questions, whatever you feel good with,
Okay.
and then stop it, play it back, see if you get anything.
Okay.
If something crazy happens, scream, flail wildly, we'll come back in. If you just get bored, just poke your head out. And move around the house if you want to. Try different rooms.
Okay.
The different stuff's
Okay.
happening, but just see if being by yourself
Okay.
does anything.
I call next. Are we turning the lights off on you, John?
You can if you want.
We
Doesn't
can do that.
bother me.
We can go ahead and go lights out.
It doesn't matter to me.
It's
Should I ask like some of the same questions, or should I do different questions?
Mix
Does it
it up.
matter? Okay.
Mix
Do
it up.
ask some personal ones for what you do when you're here alone on Saturday. Do
Yeah.
you like the Netflix movies that I watch?
Do you like the podcast I listen to?
Alright, so we'll vacate.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Probably John would need a flashlight if we're doing lights out.
Oh yeah.
Or do you have a flashlight on your phone you can use?
Yeah, I do have a flashlight on my phone.
Do you want a real flashlight or phone flashlight?
Uh,
Because they got a real one.
Yeah, I'd prefer a real one, I guess.
That one's good for the live stream.
Cool. Thank you.
Try not to fall to my way down. Alright, John, turn the lights out.
Okay.
Because the more attention he feels, the creepier it is around here, that's the more energy they have to draw off of. That is horrible.
Isn't that creepy?
Yeah, super creepy.
Call us if you need me. I'll be back in a little bit.
All right. All right, here we are upstairs. Why did you move those box of doll heads on me? Do you enjoy the podcasts I listen to when I'm by myself here? Okay, gonna move downstairs now. Ask some other questions. Are there any spirits inhabiting our dolls? Would you like to move the teddy bear? Do you enjoy the way we've set out some of your personal belongings? Okay, that's all I got. Let's listen back.
Alright, here we are upstairs. Why did you move those box of doll heads on me? Do you enjoy the podcasts I listen to when I'm by myself here? Okay, gonna move downstairs now. Ask some other questions. Are there any spirits inhabiting our dolls? Would you like to move the teddy bear? Do you enjoy the way we've set out some of your personal belongings? Okay, that's all I got.
Okay, walking back outside now. Oh,
So cute.
they found a little cute raccoon.
I don't want to scare it. Yeah, it's like scared.
Oh.
It'll be able to get down on its own time though, right?
Poor baby.
Yeah, it's
Oh
like
yeah.
Oh,
See?
oh my God, he's scratching! Oh my God, look at
It's
him.
looking at us all snotty.
Oh, it's so tiny.
Oh. Like, excuse me. Excuse me, guys.
I would like to go
Oh,
about
John,
my.
there you are.
I'd like to go about my raccoon
Nope.
business.
We
You
got a
wanna keep
raccoon. Oh, it's curled up
I
like
mean-
a kitty.
I was creeped out when I heard the bathroom door open.
Oh.
'Cause I wasn't expecting that.
Do you have the water?
Yeah, I left one in the bathroom for you.
I know, I grabbed it and then so did Brad and I haven't, and then he left.
We're going to leave the little raccoon alone.
Guess I'm next.
He's cute though. We'll come back and check for the raccoon later.
All right, museum educator. Going back to museum. I'm walking through the foundation stones, just a little FYI, in the back of the house. The house is very nicely lit. Gonna try not to trip. Very sad leaving our cute raccoon. Little King Trashmouth, if anyone is a Bob's Burgers fan. Great show. Alrighty. I'm gonna turn the light on just so I don't freak myself out. But a little background. There's a little lizard, sorry. I had a breakup that was pretty bad, and I dealt with it a lot at the museum. So I put in a lot of like emotional energy of just like crying here. So I think where I'm gonna go is, God, I probably shouldn't go right by the setup. Ooh. He scared me. He's right out there. I think I'm gonna go in here in the parlor because this is where oh my God, it scared the crap out of me. Oh my, I jumped so bad. Ooh, okay. I'm already scared myself, but I'm gonna go in the parlor because this is where he's having problems with the door. Our door is really hard to close. At the piano, because this is where I've put a lot of my time and energy in. So I guess I'm going to start recording once he's ready. Okay. So I'm going to hit record. Is there anybody here with me from the Perry family or otherwise? Have any of you heard me crying or playing the piano? Why do you make us come downstairs? Could you tell me where your slave quarters was? Is there anything you guys want to tell me? Okay, I think that's some good initial questions that I'll ask. Oh, it's creepy here with the lights off. Let me see, I'll figure out to play back. Okay, playing back now.
Is there anybody here with me from the Perry family or otherwise? Have any of you heard me crying or playing the piano? Why do you make us come downstairs?
That's kind of weird. I thought I heard something. Might have been a car though. But we'll see.
Could you tell me where your slave quarters was? Is there anything you guys want to tell me?
Oh, I don't know how to make that stop. Okay. So, nothing really going on, but I guess I'll do a walkthrough and see if, I guess, anything happens. I mean, I don't really know. Alrighty. So now I'm in the, oh, I think y'all can see better in here. This is the sitting room with our girls. So remember, these are the family pieces. Got family photos. That's Francis right there. This actually cool photo looks like a drawing, but it really was a photo. They just charcoaled over it. Sewing machine. Oh, the kids' room creeps me out, but I'm gonna go anyway. So this doll with most likely human hair. You can see the bald spot. I generally like to be very nice with the dolls. Just because, yeah, I don't want to freak the dolls out. I don't know, maybe I'm just scaring myself because I'm a little freaked out. I don't like the house at night. Maybe we should check Little King Trash Mouth. Dining room. Kitchen. Alright, we'll see how the raccoon is. Woo! God, our door handle fell off, in case you're wondering. Our door handle fell off, sorry. Might need help getting the door handle back on. This is a common occurrence at our museum.
The trash panda came back down.
Yay! Nothing really happened, but it was very creepy.
Yeah.
It's just creepy in there by yourself in the
Yeah,
dark.
it definitely is.
So nothing happened, but it was creepy.
Oh, wait. Just kidding. I think it was a car, but on one of the questions it sounded like a humming. I couldn't tell if it was coming from the recorder or if it was outside the window. I don't remember. I remember saying on the live stream.
Is there anybody here with me from the Perry family or otherwise? Have any of you heard me crying or playing the piano?
We do just hours of this.
Why do you make us come downstairs?
Maybe it was just outside, because I think it was on that question that I thought I heard
Can
something.
you tell me?
Well, just don't erase it and we'll make it louder and see if we caught anything.
I don't know how to pause it.
just hit
So just
stop.
press stop. Okay.
Yeah, it'll save it.
Yeah.
Okay, what up?
You want to do the normal lights off drill?
Well, I thought I heard something around the barn. So is that park, would people be in that pretty late? Because I thought I heard a woman. Allie heard it too.
What if we heard a crime?
I don't know. I mean, not usually. People don't come out here at night.
There was
really.
someone walking his dog over there.
Yeah, there's apartments back there,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, no one usually goes to the park that late at night.
Yeah. Not normal.
Unless they're up to no
Is
good.
that him?
What?
Yeah. That's the little king trash man.
What's this? I can't make words. It's so cute.
Just by itself.
I think it's probably, well, I mean, cats, my cat's teeny tiny and it's already ready to be away from its mom, so maybe it's just,
I think it's trying to go to the
or
bathroom.
it's finding bugs to eat.
Yeah.
In the light.
Could be.
Oh. It worked right now.
Oh god, are they June bugs?
Okay, you think I wouldn't chase raccoons on the clock? Because I would.
I chased an armadillo one time at work for like 30 minutes. Okay, so normal lights out, and where were we going to go around the barn at least to see what?
I mean, that was all Perry property at one point,
Okay.
so, and it's pretty close to the cemetery.
Oh my god.
Can you try? See if we can.
He's looking for bugs because that's why he's staying around
Do you
that
wanna do
light.
the house first so we can leave the trash can going?
Yeah, because otherwise we're gonna try to catch that sucker.
Okay, house first.
And
Little king trash
I
mouth
don't
needs
let
to
him eat.
get some
He's a
food trash.
baby.
yeah, he's just because that's why he's sticking around that light because it's just like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
I mainly stayed in the parlor just because that's usually where I was when I was at my most emotional. That or in the chair where y'all
Try playing some groove music on the phone to see if that does anything. Get really, really quiet and just let the recorder run for a while. That's one experiment we could do.
You want to do that in the kids' room or in the parlor?
Probably in the parlor, because that would be where they would probably host parties or whatever.
Oh, our floor looks awful when you put this light on it.
Well, fluorescent lighting kind of makes everything look awful.
It's worse than our equipment.
I was gonna do still photos in the dark too.
Yep.
Since I already got the other shots with the lights on.
Old music. Victorian.
Is that the new one?
It's just set up for standard.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm doing this. You know what you're doing. There you go.
Do you want to do the live stream? Oh, you've got the. Is this charged? Or have batteries?
I just put batteries in it. Did I put dead batteries in it?
Maybe, because it's not turning on.
Okay. And you shall use this camera.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't used this one at all, actually, so this is good. This will do.
I'm going to set up the.
Okay.
We got Victorian music. Don't. I was gonna say don't sell the furniture. I don't think you're selling.
No, I
I
was
would
gonna.
not sit on this furniture. You'd probably fall right through it because it's so old.
Yeah.
I got the recorder going right there, so go ahead and play.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Play your music for a little bit. Really loud.
Should I turn this light off?
What?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, I mean, the live stream's gonna be useless with the lights.
Oh, it's fine. They can listen.
Yeah.
That's my story. moving.
Cool.
So what are you taking photos of?
Just around, like, I'm using the mono wavelengths camera, which is, it just uses, like, one part of the light spectrum, and in theory.
So it's
like,
red.
so it's red, and if there's anything in there that's not red, that means it's creating its own light source, which means it's not supposed to be there.
You know, different
So,
animals.
okay,
see
so
different
basically, like,
spectrums.
a lot of groups, they'll capture orbs, right?
Mhm.
And there's big controversy. Is it dust? Is it bugs? Or whatever.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, no, it has to be energy because it moves like this. But you've seen dust move. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you're not going to get anywhere with that argument. So the theory that we're testing out is that if you're controlling the entire light source, right, and you narrow it down to just one wavelength, the way photography works is you bounce light off of something and it comes back to the lens.
Mhm.
So if you're using basically a red flash and there's no other light sources, everything's going to have a red tint to it because it's reflecting red light back.
Mhm.
So when you're taking a picture with that camera, you'll see orbs in it, but they're red, which means it's something physically there bouncing the light back. So it's got to be dust, it's got to be a bug or something like that.
Huh.
But a couple of times on a couple of investigations now, we have actually, everything's red, and then you'll see an orb, or I don't want to call it orb because it actually doesn't look like the little dots that you see, but you will see something
It looks like a
else in
light.
the picture that's a completely different color, which means it's creating its own light.
Huh.
So it's our one way of trying to debunk or prove orbs.
Like, perfect example, like, I'm pretty sure, like, if I took a picture of my phone,
Mhm.
it'll show up, like, my phone, like, instead of being red, but I've never done that before, so we're gonna do that right now. So,
But that makes sense because it's creating its own light.
And it doesn't prove anything paranormal, but what it does prove is that something's creating its own light. So it's not dust.
Yeah.
Dust obviously doesn't make its own light.
yeah, see, like, shoot. Yeah, see, like, you could still, like, if it wasn't, if my phone wasn't creating its own light, that would all just be red instead of, like, the white light for my phone.
That's cool.
So, like, here, I'm going to take a picture of you with the...
With the light.
Yeah.
I'll probably do
Don't worry. It's good. Yeah, see, you're red, but that is white. Like, the light is white. Here, I'll come over there and show you if you want. I just gotta, move my behind.
So besides the really cool laser light show, what's the green lighting for?
So, basically what it does is we can film with a regular camera and it illuminates shadows if something goes by.
Oh, okay.
You can, when you're replaying it, you'll be able to, in theory, we haven't caught it yet. That's a gimmick somebody sold us and we're experimenting with it.
Yeah.
But supposedly you can see shadow figures on it. But what we've seen other people doing with it so far is they'll have like a wildlife camera where it takes like still shots when something goes by. And that doesn't
we don't know
prove
where it's
anything.
coming
Like, it
from.
could be anything setting that off.
That's
And
been
then,
pretty neat.
The last investigation we were on, we tried using it with one of our IR cameras, and we realized that doesn't actually work because it threw dots up for a little bit, but the IR washes it out. So
When do you want to end the live stream?
You should show him what it does.
Because it's not like anybody could see.
So the lasers, it's really cool. If you twist it, it's a kaleidoscope. They twist in circles.
That's cool.
But so what we're doing now is like I'm filming it with a regular video camera. So basically it's just black and you see a bunch of green dots, but it's filming live. So if something moves in front of it or there's a shadow or something, you'll actually be able to see it in real time like that. Cool. And then of course this is like night vision, but then we also have thermal filming at the same time. The other thing that other groups do that we gripe about is they'll set up a thermal and then that's like the only camera, and they'll be like, "Oh, there's a figure walking by," but there's nothing else
to verify it.
So we're filming the same thing in two different spectrums. So if I see something walk by in here and I'm like, "Oh, there's a good," and then I see Allie walk by in the other one, obviously it's not that. So
okay, cool.
And usually it's just me walking.
That's weird. I thought someone was making a phone call. I thought I heard a dial tone, but I checked my phone. I was like, "Was that my phone?"
You heard that?
Yeah. Did you hear it? It sounded like
like
when you're calling someone and you're ringing it. Yeah, I thought that was my phone. I was like, "Oh shit, did I call someone?" And then I saw she stepped away. I was like, "Well, maybe she was on the phone, but I didn't see her phone out." You heard it too?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
But I thought I was like, I just wasn't gonna say anything. I thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
That recorder was going, so
I thought I butt dialed someone because it sounds like when you're calling someone, it's like brr. Like there's just like a low pitch, like brr.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the live stream off. Just because we're in lights out and everything like that.
Tell everybody bye and then give them the information about the paranormal porch panel and all that.
Okay. Oh yeah. When is the paranormal porch panel?
Advertise and plug for
So we're having a porch panel. These guys will be here. We're also screening a House on Haunted Hill on the Barn for free, the Vincent Price version. It's going to be October 21st. I believe we're starting at 5 p.m. So the same day, we're also having a pumpkin patch in the morning. So it's a little bit more family friendly for the little ones. But of course, nothing's going to be too terribly scary. But October 21st, we hope to see you out at the museum.
And also that following week, we're doing spooky tours of the house.
Leading up to Halloween, we're doing spooky tours. So we're having, there's a Victorian kind of spooky fact or story that we'll tell in each room. So it's a spooky themed tour.
Well, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right. So October 21st. Remember that. All right. So I'm going to finish this and y'all have a good night. And